Alright, welcome to everybody's favorite segment, Horror Talk. Horror Talk. Horror. Horror Talk.
Not horror talk.
Yes, so this is where we talk about different horror subjects, and we becoming a fan favorite actually.
Good.
And so we got two topics this week. First up, what makes a great horror protagonist? What do you think, Dwayne?
It's got to be a character you like. I know a lot of movies you have like a bunch of teenagers or 20-somethings running around, and you hear the backstory about 2 or 3 of them. So those are the 2 or 3 that usually make it to the end of the movie. But you have all these other people that you don't hear anything about, or just friends of friends, and they get killed off pretty quickly in the movie, and you don't care about them. So why do you care? You don't hear nothing about them.
Yeah, if you don't care about your main characters, you're in trouble. I hate when they just kind of jump into it and bad things happen to them. But like it's just like what do I care? You know what I mean? Like if they don't spend time getting to know your character, I just and of course I think Laurie Strode being the most famous horror protagonist, most likable. That's why they keep bringing her back. They spend time with her. Yeah, she's kind of that good girl, but she also smokes a little weed, so she's kind of good too. And they spend a lot of time with her before the danger is present in her movie. And also, I don't know. Dr. Loomis in that series, I think just as good.
Good protagonist.
Yeah. I don't know, Dr. Lewis is one of my favorite characters ever. And then you go to Scream, you got Sidney Prescott. It takes me a while to really grow into Sidney. She's just kind of, I think I like Randy a lot better than her.
Well, that's the thing with the Scream movies is like in the first one you had Sidney, Gail, Dewey, and Randy all live.
Yeah.
So you had a couple of people that you actually got to meet, got to spend some time with, get to know the characters, and you had a couple that live. So it was pretty cool actually, as opposed to some of them really had one survivor, final girl, that's it.
And that's why I think Scream might be one of the best examples because, Scream and Halloween, because Jamie Lee Curtis is in 5 or 6 Halloweens, and then you got Dr. Loomis is in 5, and Scream. I think that's one of the best things they do is like they keep characters alive, and by the time you get to the next one, you're already preset rooting for them.
Yeah,
like that's my guy. That's my guy from Scream, and you don't have to. You could spend more time doing other things in that movie, and that's why I wish other movies would do it. Alice from Friday the 13th, who lived in the first one and got killed in the opening scene of 2. Yeah. She was supposed to be the Laurie Strode of the Friday the 13th series. However, in real life, she got taken hostage and was held captive by a crazy fan. So she was like, kill me off, I'm done. It really wasn't their fault. It was kind of, just life thing. Yeah. So I think Friday the 13th, that would have been cool for them. But they just kind of showed Jason as a monster. Nobody's safe from Jason. But I do think movies need to focus on this. There are so many horror movies I watch, and then you just got some open mouth breathing white bitch who just like all her friends get murdered off, and that's all we know. I mean, okay,
That's kind of what's cool about that Leslie Vernon movie.
Yeah.
Behind the Mask is or the Rise of Leslie Vernon Behind the Mask. Is they say who the main character is supposed to be about, this young girl and everything, and you kind of find out it's not about her, because they kind of throw that little red herring in there, like, oh, we're going to follow this person around, they're supposed to be the victim, and then they weren't. I mean, they were a victim, but they weren't like the final girl.
Such a unique movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah. Oh man. And well, we're talking about Hatchet, Mary Beth. Yeah.
Danielle Harris.
Great. I thought she's great. I liked her. And then time you get to the end of the Hatchet series, you got Andrew. I was rooting for Andrew the whole time. I was happy he lived in 3 and happy he lived in 4. So, he's kind of my guy now.
Rose lived at the end of 4 too.
Yeah, okay. Anyway. Well, that's topic 1. Alright, Dwayne, what's topic 2 this week?
We're talking about sequels.
Okay.
A lot of people say sequels are usually not as good as the original, but we're talking about sequels that were better than the original, or just as good. Just as good or better.
So, now, are we saying any sequel in the franchise, or is it going to be 2?
Maybe any sequel I would go with.
Oh, boy. Alright, that opened up a big can of worms there. Well, do you want to start?
Sure. For me, a personal favorite, Hellraiser 2.
Hellraiser 2 is better than 1.
Is better than 1.
Now,
it has more of a backstory. It tells about the Cenobites. You get some kind of feeling for them a little bit, and then kind of, I don't want to tear too much from you, but at the end, when some of the Cenobites get killed, you see that one was a little boy.
Yeah.
And it's just like you're like all shocked, you know.
And but it don't get better after 2.
No, they're not that good.
Friday the 13th picked up throughout the franchise. I thought first one's great, but I like the sequels better.
I liked the second one. Third one was okay. That's where he got his hockey mask though.
Yeah.
I liked the fourth one. We started getting Tommy Jarvis in there. Fifth one was okay. The sixth one, Jason Lives. Tommy Jarvis is straight up protagonist now for 3 movies.
Yeah.
And I just liked how they were going with that there.
Yeah. And Friday the 13th. The Scream's great, but I don't think any of them could top the first one.
No, on Scream, no.
I think Texas 1's the best. You think Texas 2's the best?
Yeah, I like Texas Chainsaw 2.
That's just a we have a different opinion. However, I don't know if you agree with me on this one. I think Dawn of the Dead is better than Night of the Living Dead.
I can go with that. Yeah.
I think Day of the Dead is better than Night of the Living Dead.
Sure.
I think Land of the Dead is better than Night of the Living Dead.
That might be where I stop.
Really? Land of the Dead? You don't like Land of the Dead?
I like it. It's not that it's bad or anything at all. It's just that how much more are we going with that one?
I loved it. Well, I think, right, that's probably where it stops off from there. I don't think the last 2 are going to top the original after that. Oh yeah, Hatchet. For me, Hatchet 1's my favorite, but you like the other one.
I think I rank 1 and 2 about the same.
Yeah.
They're both really good. Sequel-wise, I do like 2 a little more because I think it gives a little more backstory towards Victor Crowley being, his dad cheating on his mom and all that stuff. So, and then a little more backstory about the people that set the fire to his house and everything. So, I kind of like that a little more than I liked in the first one. Then we can talk about which was your favorite Hatchet? Or number one?
Number one's my favorite. I think that the Rob Zombie Firefly trilogy gets better the more they go. House of a Thousand Corpses is my least favorite out of the trilogy.
Devil's Rejects definitely better than House of a Thousand Corpses.
And 3 from Hell, I like better than House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yep, I like 3 from Hell better than House of a Thousand Corpses.
Really, kind of, because Halloween, I think the original's better. Child's Play, I think the first one's the best. And then same with Candyman, I think that's the best. A lot of people will say they like Bride of Frankenstein as their favorite of the Universal Frankenstein trilogy, but I think the original's better there too.
Yeah, I like the original.
Yeah, a lot of people like Bride. Some even say Son of Frankenstein's their favorite. For me, the original's the best. I don't know. The Bride didn't click with me as well as much as it did with the first one. But really, Dwayne, I think that might be cover of the sequels.
Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Okay, yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah.
That's my favorite. First one was good.
Yep.
Second one was kind of garbage, but the third one picked it up, and it kind of fell off after that. But 3 is my favorite.
Yeah, 3's my favorite, but 4 hurts 3.
Yeah, a little bit.
But all right. Well, that was a good number there. And so tune in next week. We'll have a bunch more stuff to talk about on horror talk.